Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another Throwback Thursday with me, Peter, the master of hop and steak, throwing back with some classic Belgian beer that I got courtesy of Dour-Blaugies from Mes. So thanks to Mes for the beer. Mes has been curating some awesome boxes of beer for the Bad Seed crew the last few years, once in a while, where we try some awesome classic beers. And he really knows what we like because he usually never misses. So it's thanks a ton, Mes. He really has been supplying some awesome beers. He is working for Dour-Blaugies, which is also the distribution company that sells Bad Seed throughout Denmark. So he supplied this beer that we are revisiting today, and this is from Dour-Blaugies, and this is their collab with Hill Farmstead called La Vermontoise. So I reviewed this in the past. I really enjoyed it. I think the last time when I did this review of this beer was almost 5 years ago. It was in 2015. And when I did the review of this one, I was not too well versed with this brewery. I think Dour-Blaugies, and I was very well versed with Hill Farmstead and knew who they were. And I was like, yeah, I just need that because it's a Hill Farmstead beer. And I never tried any Dour-Blaugies since. But actually, Mes was kind enough to supply a lot of Dour-Blaugies beers this time. So I have a few different other beers down the cellar to try. Some beers I've never tried from them because this is the only one I tried. But this is the La Vermontoise, and as I said, it's 6%. It's a farmhouse ale brewed in collaboration with the Hill Farmstead. It's a beer that they brewed originally as a collab, and then it's become a regular rotation beer for the brewery. It's a family-run brewery in Blaugies in Belgium, and this one features spelt malt and originally Amarillo hops, but I'm not sure if it's the same. And what's interesting, if you go on their website, it mentions this beer and says that it is a lager with a pronounced bitterness and slight lemon aftertaste, and then it's made with spelt and US hops, IBU of 30. But then if you look otherwise, like on Untappd, where everyone else does, it's 45 IBUs, and then it says that it is a farmhouse ale / Saison, and that it is, also made, it's just the same, American hops. Lemony finish, substantial bitterness. So I'm not sure what the case is with this one. Is it a lager or is it a farmhouse ale? And as far as I remember, this brewery only does like farmhouse ales, classic Belgian saisons. These are not going to be funky beers. But yeah, interesting. So it says lager, it also says saison. But I'm looking forward to be trying this because I have a feeling that I'll enjoy this more than I did in the past, although I really enjoyed it in the past because I'm really into these really dry, crisp, classical beers these days. So let's check out La Vermontoise. Pours out very beautiful in the glass, golden yellow, very, very, very highly carbonated. The head on this pouring out, like it was very hard to pour this. It was massive and frothy and white, but it looks very nice, streaming carbonation. I can smell it, and do you know what? It actually smells a little bit skunky because of the green bottle. And this has not been in the sun. It's been in my fridge for the entire time. But let's check it out. Okay, that was just from a distance. Maybe it's just evaporated because I had to do a million retakes on this clip here because the battery's running out and stuff. It smells really good. Very peppery, very orangey, zesty, limey, lemony. Very phenolic, very spice driven. Very wheaty as well, and very rustic. And what's funny is spelt, I think, is a type of wheat, but it has more rustic character. So maybe that's why I said it smells like rustic wheat. But yeah, it smells really good. It smells like classic Saison. It smells similar to something like a Saison Dupont, but with a more like fruity, orangey, citrusy aroma. Very spicy smelling. I don't think it smells like a classic lager. It smells more like a Saison. Very fluffy and bready as well. Wheaty, crackery. It smells really good. It smells really refreshing. Let's try it. Cheers. Thanks a ton to Mes for the beer. Let's see how this is almost 10 years later. Holy shit. Time flies. Woo! That's like drinking champagne. That is insane levels of CO2. When I also, wow, this is bitter and spicy. That's really nice. When I uncorked this, it was like the cork almost flew out of it on its own. I was like, oh no, this is gonna gush. But it was like, it just foamed a little bit and then it stopped. It was like, as soon as I started pouring this, it was just like, that, like the head just went nuts. I mean, I think it's been standing a bit now in the bottle, so it's probably gonna be easier to pour now. Yeah, it's much easier. But when it just popped, it was like really difficult to pour this because the head was just insane. And you can also see it's got some really nice, big, frothy looking white head on there. But this is really good. This is very, very, very spicy and like noble hoppy, but with some citrus tones. There's almost like Taras Bulba vibes to this. It's almost like a cross between Taras Bulba and like a Saison du Pont. The carbonation is insane on this. Like, holy hell. That is the most carbonated beer I've had in I don't know how long. Like this is, it's definitely as effervescent as champagne, but because of the grains being in this and not just fruit, it has structure and body. So like it makes the body feel extremely airy. Like when you take a sip, it's almost like if you stuff your mouth with bread, like stuff your mouth with bread. And then at the same time drink something fizzy and carbonated because it's really hefty on breadiness and rustic wheaty breadiness. Don't swirl it around your mouth. Like try and just drink it. I need to do that. I'm just like, I usually swirl a beer around when I drink it just to analyze flavors. When you do this, you just activate the CO2 and you can feel foam building in your mouth. This is a crazy experience actually. Well, this is really good. A very spicy, very phenolic, lots of black pepper, lots of white pepper, a touch of a clove thing. No, actually coriander, because it has that like fruitiness that coriander has. So like coriander, some black and some white pepper, a slight orangey twinge, lemon notes, very spicy, also floral, also bitter herbs, lots of bitter herbs, crazy high carbonation. Like, I really want to burp loudly right now when I'm sipping on this. It's really refreshing though. So spicy, so noble hop-like. And then with a twist of orangey tones. Quite bitter, but not like obscenely bitter. So I think this drinks like classic Saison meets Taras Bulba meets pills. Like Taras Bulba is always like already like a Belgian pale ale meets pills type because of all the noble hops. And this is like if you just take those and then you also slap a Saison into the mix and then you have La Vermontoise. Like right now I've just picked up much more of that spice and spelt and everything. Whereas before it was just so aggressive. The only thing I kept thinking about was just like how it was attacking my face with CO2. So that's maybe a little bit of a drawback. There's also a too much of a good thing, but still really nice Saison. Like I'm really, really enjoying this. I thought I'd enjoy this more than I did in the past. And I think I might enjoy it a bit equally, actually. I really liked it in the past. I gave it a 91. I think 91 or 92. And I think it's the same grade for me today. Really good Saison, 91, 92. Really awesome characters in this. Like noble hop characters and very bright and very effervescent and very refreshing. Awesome classic Belgian beer. This is very different from like the people who drink Belgian beer and loves the Leffes, the strong like Golden Carolus and all these like stronger beers. Leffe is also a bad example, but all the strong, intense, darker Belgian beers and whatnot. This is way different. Very hoppy, very assertive, very aggressive. Compared to that, very bitter as well. It feels like, although it's only 45 IBUs, I'm sure they've loaded up with lots of stuff in the kettle to get a lot of flavor. So you get that plant mattery thing driving on the palate as well. So it's really old money, really aggressive, really drinkable, really refreshing as well. Same thoughts pretty much as in the past. Funny. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes I dislike it, and sometimes I like it even more. But yeah, this is still really, really nice stuff. So if you guys had a chance to try the Dour-Blaugies and Hill Farmstead's La Vermontoise, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Mess for the beer. And as always, leave a comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan pages and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up, enjoy it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another Throwback Thursday.